Following is a Shaw TV live presentation.
"75 kilometers west of Winnipeg, along the Trans-Canada Highway, lies the small city of Portage la Prairie, and we are live on Shaw TV right now for the 2016 Canadians Women's Classic. This event is part of the World Curling Tour and is proudly sponsored by Canadians. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host, Mike Valente. The sun is shining here in Portage la Prairie. Last weekend, it was the Men's Classic. This weekend, it's the Women's Classic, and we have quite the matchup for you today here at 5 p.m. It's Team Homan versus Team Sigfridsson. Rachel Homan from Ottawa, Ontario, our nation's capital. She's the former Canadian World Junior champ. She also has 5 Grand Slam titles to her name. Team Sigfridsson from Sweden, they won a silver medal at the Sochi Olympics in 2014. For more on tonight's matchup, let's go inside to the curling rink. Here's Kevin Hirschfield and Maureen Bonner. Guys?
Thank you very much, Mike Valente. Well, 32 teams began the weekend here at the Canadians Women's Classic with 8 playoff spots on the line. 2 of those playoff spots have already been decided. Sweden's Anna Hasselborg and Ontario's Tracy Fleury have qualified. 6 more spots will be determined during tonight's draws. One of those spots will be decided in our feature game tonight. It's a good one. 2-time Canadian champion Rachel Homan taking on Swedish team Margareta Sigfridsson. They're the silver medalists from the Sochi Olympics in 2014 and multiple times silver medalists at World Championships. A good one tonight. Maureen Bonner, what do you expect from this one?
Well, it's going to be an interesting game because I don't know if these two teams have played each other that much in the past. They each have their own style of play. Of course, we've seen Rachel play a lot, so we know her style of game. It'll be interesting to see how they match up.
We mentioned the Sweden teams. We have teams from Switzerland here in Portage, a couple Asian teams as well. And this isn't the only bonspiel they've been at this year. They've been at several bonspiels around Canada throughout the year. Maureen, why have they chosen to come here to Canada at the early part of the season to kind of try it out?
Well, they've been some of these teams have been here since August, and they come over here to play the best. I believe that's why they're coming here and staying this long. They play a lot of games across the country and a lot of bonspiels. So it'll be interesting to see what the level is for all these teams meeting our Manitoba and Canadian teams.
All right, Homan and Sigfridsson spotting tomorrow's playoffs on the line. Mike Valente caught up with both skips.
Here with Margareta Sigfridsson. Earlier today, Margareta, you defeated Team Englot 6-1. Tell us about that matchup.
Well, we played a good game. We had quite a tough loss yesterday evening, so it was nice to bounce back and win that game and feel that we played as good as last night.
And we're just a few minutes away from you taking on Team Homan. How do you feel about this matchup tonight?
Oh, that's really great. It's nice to play Rachel's team. They are really good, and it's always fun games to play.
Appreciate your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here with Rachel Homan. Rachel, earlier in September, you and your team picked up a big win in Cornwall, Ontario. It was the Shorty Classic. What was it like to have a win like that to start off your season?
It was great. Kind of hometown, and got to see some family, and it was great. The team played well, and it was a good start to the season. So we're excited to be here in Portage and getting lots of games in the B-side, so hopefully we can win one more today.
Earlier today, you took on Tirinzoni's team, a 5-4 victory. Tell us about how that went.
I mean, it was a really close battle the whole way. It was, we always have great games against them, and it was another really good game. So thankfully we came out on the winning side, and we get to play Sigfridsson now.
Any thoughts on them? Have you played them before?
Lots, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be kind of like the game this morning, where a lot of good shots and some exciting curling.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
There's Rachel Homan. We'll go to break. You're watching the 2016 Canadians Women's Classic here on Shaw TV.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Wednesday, October 26th, when the Victoria Royals look to avenge last year's playoff heartbreak, when they head north to Kelowna to battle it out with the Rockets. Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
Outward Bound Canada, with the support of the Shaw Kids Investment Program, helps vulnerable youth build resiliency and leadership skills through inspiring and challenging journeys in the great outdoors. Outward Bound Canada is proudly supported through the Shaw Kids Investment Program.
Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
And we welcome you to the Canadians Women's Classic in Portage la Prairie, Manitoba, as that first rock is thrown by Margareta Sigfridsson of Sweden. It's B-side final action between Sigfridsson and Ontario rank Rachel Homan. First thing we should mention here, we haven't missed the whole end. Sigfridsson is considered the team's skip Maureen, but she actually throws lead stones. So we would just want to clarify that for sure. She is the team's lead and will throw the lead stones, but is considered the team's skip.
Yes, and she just threw that beautiful guard up front to get this game going. And Rachel will be asking her team to draw around on the intern.
Lisa Weigel is the lead on the Homan team. This version of the Homan team is in its third year together. Emma Miskew the third, Joanne Courtney at second, Weigel the lead. Courtney at second, replacing Allison Kreviatsik from a couple years ago.
Well, that rock just nipped the front guard, so it stays out of the rings and cannot be removed. So Sigurdsson will try again to go around on the outturn.
Of course, Sigfridsson throwing lead rocks. We'll talk about the team throughout the broadcast. She has a new skip, a new fourth person throwing stones. That's Sissy Ostland, who's been around for a while on the Swedish curling circuit. Christina Bertrup the third, Maria Wennerström is the second on this team. You may remember the longtime skip of this team, or a couple years at least, was Maria Priest. That's who Sissy Ostland's replacing this year. Priest left after last season and is actually serving as a spare on the Hasselborg team, who's qualified for the playoffs here. We mentioned that off the top of the broadcast, so all sorts of connections when it comes to the Swedish curling world. And of course, Lisa Weigel, the lead on this Homan team.
Rachel's just asked her to do a nice tap of their yellow stone outside the rings.
Once again, Joanne Courtney, the second on this team. Emma Miskew, the third. The team coming from Ottawa, Ontario, two-time Canadian champions, as we talked about off the top.
Well, bumping that stone in, Lisa's rock tapped that blue stone of Sigurdsson's in, so she's line two, and she'll ask for another guard out front to cover the 4-foot rock. So right off the bat, we're getting lots of rocks in play, both aggressive play by these teams.
Is there a reason for that call so early in the game to be aggressive? Is it just a skip's preference on how they feel they want things to go in a certain game?
Well, that's true. Sometimes it's just the style of the team, and that's what they do. They go after their opponents right off the bat. It's not there's no right or wrong to it, but I like seeing the aggressive right off the first end. You've thrown rocks, you've had practice time, you know what the ice is basically doing. It's kind of like first one in, first one gets the point kind of thing. So it is a little bit of a gamble, but it's early in the end.
Joanne Courtney throwing her first rock. The Homan team with the hammer here in the first end. And able to remove a couple blue stones out.
That's the beauty of this team. They can throw up the up weight and clear the house when they need to, and leaves a shot there for a hit and roll by Sigfridsson.
Both teams are 4-1 at this event. So pretty good results from them so far. Sigfridsson's loss was actually in the A-side final. She lost to fellow Swedish rink, of course, Anna Hasselborg. Dropped her to the B-side where they defeated Michelle Englot earlier today, Manitoba rink. Just can't get that yellow fully out of the house.
Just nicked it to the side. So Rachel will want to get rid of the other one and hopefully lie two. But that leaves those two guards out front as well to draw behind. So there are the two shots to choose from. I think she's going with the draw.
But yes, winner of this game clinches a spot in tomorrow's playoffs. 8 teams in tomorrow's playoffs. Loser of this one has to come back out at 8:30 and play another game to try to qualify through the playoffs through the C-side. So both these teams hoping to get an early night here and prepare for tomorrow's action. And for one of these teams, it will be the start of a busy night.
Coming down, but still all there. Behind T, Rach. Never. It's starting to come down. No, never. Sure? Never, guys.
This rock's just guiding in. It's Joanne's first rock.
What are the ice times looking like here so far, Maureen?
Well, hog to hog, they're about 14.5 seconds. And if you time from the hog to stop, it's about 24 seconds. I have talked to a number of the players, and they have said that it does tighten up a little bit to around 23 when the pebble wears off, and that's about closer to what it is, 23.5 hog to stop. We also have interval sweeping time. It's around 4. And that would be from back line to hog timing if you're a sweeper. That's basically getting the rock to the tee line.
Three other games going on here in Portage la Prairie in this 5 o'clock draw. They're actually all in warm-up still, it looks like. So we're a little early going in our feature match, but we will keep you posted throughout the night, and some really good matchups as well. I would say 4 quality matchups here in Portage la Prairie in this 5 o'clock draw. Jennifer Jones taking on Krista McCarville in a C-side semifinal. So loser of that game surprisingly goes home. Jones or McCarville, 2 pretty big names in the women's curling world. McCarville, the Scotties finalist from a year ago. The other B-side final, Sherry Madon, Sherry Anderson. 2 veterans of the curling world.
Get through. Gotta go. Hard reach. Good end.
Beautiful shot by Emma Miskew. Rachel asked her to just tap back the Sigfridsson stone in the 12-foot, and it came really, really nice on the out turn and just tapped it out the back. You see on the shot, just waiting for it to bend a little bit more so they can take that blue stone right past the one in the 4-foot, and they swept it right out. Beautiful weight by Emma.
The other game going on, a Seaside semifinal. Carrie Anderson, the Manitoban finalist at last year's Provincial Scotties, taking on Bingyu Wang. So all teams I think most of our viewers have definitely heard of and seen play before, so a good night of action here in Portage. It's Christina Bertrup of the Sigfridsson team. Going to get some yellows out.
Looking for the double here.
Top 8.
Well, that side rock finally was removed, but it left another yellow one in there, jammed on it. So Rachel asked for another draw around on the out turn.
Take a look at the shot again from Bertrup.
Looking for the double, it just jams it on the side one. Unfortunate for them, there was that side rock there. Jammed.
Hannah Miskey will try to throw one behind the guards here.
5, we gotta go. Just Lisa. We gotta go. We're there? 5, we're there. 6, really heavy. No, we're all there. Wide open.
This one's not moving in as much. It hung out there.
Right back. Everyone just get under.
She had beautiful weight on that, Kevin. Just didn't tuck around the front.
5. 4. Kant till kant. 5 är bra. 5. 5 eller 6 tänker jag.
These two teams, aside from all their meetings in the World Curling Tour events, have met twice on the World Championship stage. Homan, of course, won the Scotties in 2013 and 2014, and both times when they made it to the Worlds, the Sigfridsson team, albeit looking a little bit different, but Sigfridsson as the skip was there representing Sweden. The Homan team lost in 2013, and then they were able to get a win in 2014. Both those games were round robin matchups. The two teams never played in the playoffs. Homan, though, was able to win bronze in 2013, silver in 2014 at the World Championships.
Just throwing a nice tap back weight here, waiting for it to move a little bit more, half tuck around that guard.
Yeah. Are you trying to nose or do you want to? We can roll it right away. Yeah. Make sure we're second. Yeah. Shot. If it hangs, for sure. Like, be conservative. Okay, what kind of weight? Hack. Okay. Between 11 and hack. Yeah.
Rachel indicating that she's going to throw hack weight, which is about 11. Hog to hog is what they're calling that 11 seconds.
Okay. It's not moving here, guys, so careful. Okay.
How are you going to throw it?
Positive. Yeah.
The Homan team played just one event so far on the World Curling Tour this year. You may have heard Mike Valente off the top mention it. The Shorty Jenkins Classic was in Cornwall, Ontario, and they picked up a win. So one tournament, one Bonspiel, one win for them. Pretty good average so far.
11.
First stow to the end
11.
for Rachel.
Same as M's. 4. Come on, hold it. Whoa. Up. Yeah.
And we'll hit and stick.
Samma fart? Ja. Lika långt eller? Nej, försöka komma direkt.
So CC Ostlund is the fourth thrower, the last rock thrower on this Sigfridsson team, joining the Sigfridsson team this year. As we mentioned, replacing Maria Preetz.
She's just throwing a soft weight shot here as well. She has a little bit more weight than Rachel had on her last rock.
And the yellow will be removed.
Maybe a little fresh if we're here. This is kind of that unknown spot. A little more ice, actually. It'll curl, eh? Edge, I've got lots of room. Okay. Yeah.
Well, CC changed the shot up for Rachel's last shot, and that's always what you want to do as a to your opponent, is not give them the same shot twice. So she'll be throwing down a new path.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me keep my weight up so that it might come down. Nice and positive. But M's normal. Out here didn't do anything when she was positive. Okay, let's keep her head up.
So it looks like a shot for two here for Rachel Homan. Final stone of this first end.
Don't need to clean. No. Solid. Clean. No.
Homan just needs to hit and stick.
Nice throw, Rachel.
And indeed she does. So a great start for Rachel Homan's Ottawa rink. A 2 in the first end. And they take a 2-0 lead in this B-side final over Margareta Sigfridsson of Sweden. We're going to take a look at some of our other rinks and actually mention real quality games going right on there. You see Carrie Anderson, the Manitoban, taking on Bingyu Wang. On sheet 3, this is Anderson's last stone here in the first end. Or it looks like they're warming up, actually, pardon me. So that game has yet to get going there.
Yeah, she's just practicing and going to throw her last rock for her draw to the button.
All right, we will be right back from the Canadians Women's Classic in Portage la Prairie. Homan leading Sigfridsson 2-0.
So you think you're a big shot? You're not. Fame is fleeting, Johnny. You have to earn it. They don't just give it to you. You're here because you love the game. Not for the interviews. Not for the endorsements. You can't forget where you came from.
Hey! What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
At Shaw TV, we are proud to bring you live events and we value your comments. Call the Shaw TV viewer response line now, 204-480-3500, or email us, shawtvwinnipeg@shaw.ca, and let us know how we're doing. Or find us on Facebook and Twitter at Shaw TV Winnipeg.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub with a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, a destination for great sports all the time.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club, connected to the Canad Inns, overlooking 8 beautiful sheets of ice. On sheet 5, Rachel Homan is leading Team Sigfridsson right now. And before we get back to Kevin and Maureen, a social media update for you. We are online all the time via Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find us at Shaw TV Winnipeg. And if you have to be away from the television for whatever reason, we also have a live stream on our Shaw TV Winnipeg YouTube page. Kevin and Maureen, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mike Valente. Yes, indeed, check us out on social media. Our feature game here in the 5 o'clock draw, Rachel Homan, Margareta Sigfridsson. Homan with a 2 in the first end. How was she able to get that 2? Maureen?
Well, she just had a hit and stick for 2. It was wide open, and she made it perfectly. And now we're into the second end, and Rachel just went right into the forefoot, and Sigfridsson put up the corner guard. And Rachel put a guard on her forefoot rock, and now you are caught up with last of Sigurdsson's lead herself, throwing her last of 2 rocks, and trying to come around on that yellow stone of Rachel Homan's in the forefoot. Well executed by Margareta.
Seems nice down there, you think now? Yeah.
Like we've said, the Sigfridsson rink pretty much perennially, is that the right word? At the World Championships every single year, it seems. They've been there since 2012, so consecutively they've been there every year since 2012. A lot of silver medals for the Sigfridsson rink. 4 silver medals, the Sigfridsson team, and of course she's been on multiple teams with multiple members, but Sigfridsson herself, 4 silver medals. She just hasn't quite been able to get over that hump and win that gold medal. She's come so close. She's still got a good team here though, so you can bet you they'll be trying to get to that World Championship stage again this year and try their hand at a gold medal.
Well, you know, Sweden has always been very, very strong. Here's a shot for Homan coming down on top of the Sigfridsson stone that's frozen to the forefoot Homan stone, and perfectly executed. Yeah, Sweden has been a powerhouse over the years with Elisabeth Gustafsson, always a favorite and a strong contender. many world championships to her name.
Annette Norberg's another one.
Do you want to come and tap this? Rearrange the angle? Okay. That or a guard, whatever you like. I don't mind the tap. Got that. Okay, I like the tap.
So another aggressive end here, Maureen. It's looking like what's Rachel looking at here early in the end?
Well, she doesn't like the angle that's the yellow, blue, yellow is sitting up. So she's wanting to spread them out a little bit, take away the angles.
Just fix it. Sure. I like it. Just like a foot more weight. Oh. Okay.
Trying to maybe save some of her rocks in play, keep more rocks in play.
You got to move this one. Okay. Back 12. Okay.
Interesting thing here is that the rocks are very close together, so you don't need a lot of weight because they're really going to bounce off of each other. So it doesn't take a lot of weight to move these rocks at this point.
Yeah, I'll just give you like 4 to 6 feet more. Yeah. Does this look like enough ice, Sam? For back 12, you can be smart. Okay.
They're finally underway on the other 3 sheets after quite a lengthy warm-up. It seemed they even fooled us there for a little bit. But as we said, we'll give you updates throughout the night from our other 3 games.
Well, she unlocked that back rock, which was what she wanted. Margaretta's just looking at the angles here to see what she's got.
I haven't been around curling a long time, but do you remember any other teams that have the lead as the skip throwing lead stones? Because I can't think of any teams that really have this formula.
Gosh. You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
but,
we're so used to the third throwing skip combo. A couple of notable teams, of course, do that.
You see it more in the European teams.
Okay.
Sometimes when they have a 5-man team, they'll do that. They'll play as that. Looking at trying to just bump these and spread them out a bit. Roller shooter away.
Okay. I can see it. Yeah. Normal. Okay. I think this will run straight.
Little hit and roll here behind the yellow. Corner guard. Hopefully delay 2.
Yeah. Whoa. Easy peel. Clean. Yeah. Clean, yep. Hard. Whoa. Oh. Yep. Oh. Sorry.
Emma Miskew's shot is going to roll in there.
It's a great shot.
Yellow will be shot still. We'll replay that one.
Yeah, she threw this really nice straight down. Just a little bit of a flop inside. July 1.
The Homan team, I'd say the whole country was probably shocked when they didn't make the Scotties Tournament of Hearts last year. It was Jen Hanna who was the Ontario representative last year's Scotties. Homan had such an outstanding Grand Slam season last year. And to lose in the provincial playdowns was definitely a bit of a stunner, but You know she'll be looking to get back there this year.
Oh, for sure. And you know, sometimes all this play, a lot of these teams are playing and playing and playing, and come playoff time for their zones or their provincials, they just don't have it, or they just aren't themselves out there. And here we got a replay of this shot coming down by Sigfridsson. Moved a lot of rocks around. That's the balancing act you have to do as you know, a team that's playing in a lot of tour events and a lot of bond spills across Canada. It can wear on you, and you've got to, you know, make your priorities right and set your goals for the season and take that into account, because traveling does tire you out along with curling.
Nice shot by Emma Miskew, and now Homan lies 4 here. Talking about getting tuckered out, though, one of these teams is going to have to play 3 games today. The loser of this game, as we mentioned, plays at the 8:30 draw.
Yes.
So just there, 3 games of curling in a day.
Yeah, and it's high-level curling, so it's intense. And by the 3rd game, you're, as skip, at least you're looking to your team to remember certain shots and remember ice and help you out, because it's a long day when you've got 3 games. Beauty is it's 8 end games now instead of 10, so that helps out a little bit. But they're all playing for high stakes, and it is it can be very, very draining.
So remember, 8 ends at these Canadians Classic events, no time clock as well. So you may see more in-depth discussions like we're seeing right now. What else would we commonly see with no time clock, maybe, Maureen? Would teams kind of take advantage of these discussions a little more?
Yeah, I think we saw that last weekend with some of the men's teams, maybe pulling in the whole team to have a little discussion here and there. And, you know, at some point you have to make that decision, and you want to keep the rhythm and the momentum going if you're up. So you want to keep the game going, so you're aware of that. But there are some times when teams get a little bit long in the tooth and they need to get moving. I think she's trying to decide whether they clear them all or play the tap back and try and make something happen with the rocks they have in play. Possibly utilizing Rachel's rocks, the yellow rocks, to hold some of theirs as counters.
Yeah, unless you know Swedish, Maureen, we're not going to really know what they're saying. We're going to have to kind of judge by the movement of Margaretta's broom there.
Yes, my Swedish is not good. I think the only thing I know is Ufta.
Ufta? What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Just bad. Well, the ice she's taking, it looks like she's drawing down to the rock. It's over curling the shot rock.
I wonder if that maybe grabs something, because you can see the Homan team kind of sweeping on the sheet there, and the way that curled.
Yeah, it curled more than any of the other ones coming down there, but she was a little bit lighter, so maybe it just caught the line a little bit quicker. We'll watch it as they're sweeping. They swept it all the way. Her weight was pretty good to stab it back.
I don't even mind going right here. Oh, I like that. And light's okay. And if you go like that, it's not bad. It's pretty good too. Yeah. Okay. How quick is it here? Okay. This is your draw line.
So Homan in a pretty good position here without hammer, but lying 3.
Well, not really. I crossed.
Yeah, there's no need to remove that Sigfridsson stone. line three. You can put a guard out front or even play it right in. And Sigfridsson's going to have to decide what stick of dynamite to use to move those rocks out of there or try and get a piece of the forefoot.
It's a little tighter than draw the button line, or
yeah,
pretty close?
But I crossed on both of mine. This is pretty close to what I did.
Okay. Pretty close to draw weight then?
I think it's slowed down a little bit. Like you were T line, so if you want to be top 8, same. Do you want to add a foot? No. Okay.
First shot of the second end for Rachel Homan. Looking to guard her 3 shot stones in the house right now.
The sweepers are using the number system. 2 is halfway between the hog and the house. And that actually curled over a little bit more than they thought as well. So maybe they're getting a little bit fooled on how much that ice is curling there.
So now it looks like there's a bit of an opening for the Sigfridsson team here to at least get some of those yellows out.
Looking for the double.
And we'll see Cici Osland. Short for Cecilia, as you'd probably expect. Skipped a team of her own, Cici did at the 2010 Worlds. They finished 4th. And then at the 2011 Worlds, she played with Annette Norberg. Was the 3rd on her team and actually 1 goal at the 2011 Worlds. So Cici has been around. And she'll look to remove a couple yellows here. And a very good shot. Shooter rolls out.
Threw up weight at this shot. Out turn, just not coming in as much as she needed it to come in for the double and stick. Her shooter rolls out with the other 2 yellows.
But boy, oh boy, if that Homan guard doesn't over curl, that puts the Swedish rink in a world of trouble, it looked like. But fortunately for the Sigfridsson team, it just curled that extra bit, left them that double takeout there, and all of a sudden they're feeling a little bit better about themselves this end.
Yeah, if she could have stuck that double, that would have been a difficult rock for Homan to remove. But now Rachel has an out-turn draw. She'll likely try and, what we say in curling is tree them. She'll try and half bury around her guard that she put there with her first stone. Full forefoot she likely wants. Beautiful shot by Rachel.
So Homan puts it pretty much on the button there. To lie 2.
See this rock coming down, it's hanging out there right until it gets to the top of the 12-foot, and then it starts to bend in right around the high guard. Beautiful shot.
So now Cici Osland and the Sigfridsson rink a draw. I believe it's a draw against 2, looking like they're going to try to get rid of that rock on the button as much as they can.
I think she'll just try to come down and just tap it maybe 2 feet back to get shot. This is all weight here. Sometimes when you up the weight, it hangs out on you.
Final stone of the second end. Has to get shot with this blue, and she will do just that. Great shot from Cici Osland. And the Swedish rink able to pick up one here in the second end and cut the lead to 2-1. Rachel Homan leading this B-side final at the Canadians Women's Classic in Portage la Prairie. We will be right back after this.
Shaw TV proudly presents Hurry Hard, the Manitoba Curling Show. Join us for in-depth coverage and analysis on all things curling, including the latest news, upcoming events, as well as feature interviews with some of the most prominent curlers in the province. Kevin Hirschfield hosts Hurry Hard, the Manitoba Curling Show, Fridays at 5 p.m. on Shaw TV.
Behind the War Amps logo is a legacy of amputees helping amputees. The War Amputee and the cenotaph represent the heritage of the War Amps. The children represent its future. War amputees, like Cliff Chatterton, have devoted a lifetime of experience to innovative programs that ease the path for child amputees and their families. Through CHAMP, the War Amps legacy will continue.
Canad's Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
We're back at the Canadians Women's Classic at the Portage la Prairie Curling Club. Our feature game tonight, a B-side final between Rachel Homan and Sweden's Margareta Sigfridsson. Homan with a 2-1 lead. She was able to pick up 2 in the first. Sigfridsson able to get 1 in the second end.
Well, it was a great shot by CC. She had to have perfect weight on that rock to tap it back for shot. She could only see about half that rock and came around and tapped it like it was just everyday occurrence.
And the way that was looking heading into skip stones, it looked like the Homan team had a real advantage there and maybe a chance to steal. But just an overcurled guard there opened up some space for CC Austin in the Sigfridsson rink, and they were able to remove some yellow out of there and eventually able to get their 1.
So Margareta put her first stone up in front. You see the blue stone covering the forefoot out of the rings, and Homan tried to come around and just tapped it sideways, left it short. And now Margareta's last stone, she'll try and do an out-turn draw around, half berry. A repeat of the first end, we're throwing out turns. Interesting, actually, the first 2 ends, and going into this third end, they've thrown out turns both ends on draws, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Was that release okay? I think with that rock, yeah.
I guess that kind of makes it not risky, but when you're going to the other side of the ice, it makes things, they're thinking about that for sure. They know they've been heavy to one side of the ice here.
For sure. Sometimes you have a player on your team that's designated to be aware of that and to be able to remind the other players, okay, we've only had 2 rocks down on this side, so make sure that you're aware of that. It might be a little bit keener still. Nothing's gone down there, haven't been sweeping down there, so always aware of the path of the stone where they're running. Nice shot by Rachel Homan's team.
The Sigfridsson rink has been pretty busy so far this year. They just lost at the beginning of the month to Eve Muirhead in an event in Switzerland in the final there. And they've been quarterfinalists at a couple other events, so some good showings, and that's gotten them some good earnings, good points. And they're up there on the money list. 4th on the World Curling Tour money list, to be exact, is the Sigfridsson team.
Nice weight shot by Sigfridsson's team. I noted that some of the bond spills that they've been attending, they've been over here for a while. Watch this rock come in here, just coming in just beautifully. weight is perfect. Corner frozen to that Homan stone. Rachel electing to clear the front with Joanne Sprague.
Yep. Really hard. Really hard. Please roll.
She'll be happy with that, opening up the front. As I was saying, Kevin, Sigfridsson's team has been here since late August. They went back to play in that bond spill back in Switzerland, and then they came back here again. Same with Anna Hasselborg. They are doing the same thing. So they're spending a lot of time over here in Canada curling.
The Hasselborg rink you mentioned, we've talked about them a few times already. They're kind of the young guns from Sweden. They're having a really good year as well. A couple wins already. Beat the Sigfridsson team here earlier this week. They've already clinched their spot in the playoffs here at the Women's Classic. So we'll see how far they can get tomorrow. And they were also selected to be the Swedish representative at the upcoming European Championships. So because of their hot start to the season, they earned that right. But of course, the Swedish team at the World Championships is yet to be selected. And that will come in a couple months from now. And that is all determined by how the teams fare in all these events. So bit of an inner battle, I guess, between the Sigfridsson team and the Hasselborg team. They'll be trying to get as many good results as they possibly can to get that World Championship representation.
Well, here's Joanne's second rock. Here's the side of the ice that we haven't seen a lot of draws going down, and obviously you can see that this is really going sideways.
You mentioned all the silver medals Sigfridsson's achieved at the World Championships. The last couple of years our team's been there, not ideal results. 4-7 last year, missed the playoffs. In 2015, they were 5-6. And then a 5th place finish in 2014. So a couple disappointing results for them at the last couple World Championships. You know they want to get back there and improve on that for sure. But again, they'll have Team Hasselborg trying to get there as well. It's going to be a good battle when it comes to the Swedish curling representative for the World Championships this year.
Well, so often it's always one team that is dominating from some of these European countries. It's really nice to see that they've got, you know, some young guns coming through and some other teams that are challenging for the championships and making their way forward. You know, it really says a lot for curling across the water that it is really taking hold in some of these countries, and they're just producing some great curling.
And of course, we're getting close to the 2018 Winter Olympics.
That we are.
Sigfridsson winning silver there, losing to Jennifer Jones at the final in Sochi. And that will be another hotly contested battle.
Well, this is a really important year, 2017, 16-17. You'll see a lot of teams are going to every spiel that they can go to. They have to try and get the CRTS points and CTRS points, and that will build their points towards getting to the Olympic trials, which will be next December in 2017. But it's a tough road. We have the toughest qualifying playoff system in curling in the world. It's one of it has to be the toughest as far as I'm concerned. But that's good too.
Just the fields you see at some of these trials events.
Exactly.
The Homan team will most likely be there, and just the best of the best.
Yeah, and you know that's what we want. We want to display and show our fine curlers and come up with the best representative for our country. They have a lot of work to do once they are claimed in December, because we know that The Olympics is in February, so they have a lot of work to do between that December to February.
Over to sheet 4. This is the Jennifer Jones-Krista McCarville game. Jones got 1 in the first end to take a 1-0 lead there. This is second end action between Jones and McCarville. McCarville, the Scotties finalist from a year ago, losing to Chelsea Carey in the final. So it looks like a quiet end there on sheet 4 in the second end. Skip stones there. Getting into close to skip stones here. We're still on third stones here. Homan 2, Sigfridsson 1 in the third end. And again, a lot of rocks in play and a lot of decisions to be made here.
Well, Homan is lane 1, and there's 2 blue rocks in front that are a little bit of a danger. Sigfridsson's looking at possibly, I think she's looking at the in-off. Again, my Swedish isn't so good, so not exactly sure.
Christina Bertrup, the third on this Sigfridsson team. Purposely removing her own here to try to get that roll, and look at that shot.
That was a great shot.
To lie 3.
Let's look at this again. She throws up weight, in turn, comes off the inside of the stone on the right. Ricochets.
And all 3 of those stones are pretty much covered. And Emma Miskey's going to have to come back down and to the other side of the sheet and chat with Rachel Homan
like a better
here.
Angle, but we can stick it, and if we can get that to move up, I don't know. What do you think?
So while they discuss their next shot, back over to sheet 4, Jennifer Jones, Krista McCarville. Just one of the great matchups going on here.
They're just exchanging rocks here in the back of the house. Hit and stick. Now Krista, with her last stone, will just hit and roll out. Blank the end.
So McCarville will have the opportunity for the blank there. Loser of that game goes home. Probably a lot earlier than both those teams hoped, but
7/8, but I think 3/4 is okay.
So I think Emma is planning to throw up weight here and angle the yellow one into the blue stones. Try and get rid of some of that blue granite in the forefoot.
they have blanked the second end, Jones McCarville, so it remains 1-0 Jones through 2. Emma Miskew over on our sheet. Puts that blue even further behind the guards.
Well, it just ran straight on her. She threw it really well. It just tracked a little bit. As we look at this going down the ice, they didn't touch it all the way down. Just stayed where she laid it. Just nicks the blue one in behind those two blue.
So this looks a little similar to the last end where Homan had 3 rocks in play, and things look pretty good for the Homan team heading into skip stones. And they tried to throw a guard, it just over curled, it looked like, and Sigfridsson was able, CC Austin was able to remove a couple stones. These ones, though, look like they're going to be a lot tougher to remove unless you're trying to run something back here.
Yeah, she needs to protect the side that's sticking out, and that way it'll leave a lot of granite in front. She puts a guard out for cover her stone on the left-hand side. Rachel will have to look at either running something back or clearing the front. Let's see how this in-turn runs again. Emma threw down here, or Lisa threw down here earlier, and it just tracked. It just took off towards the center line. Sorry, it was Joanne that threw it.
first shot of this end for CC Ostlund, throwing the fourth stones for the Sigfridsson rink. She'll bring the blue right in there to lie 4 now.
Well, it lined both of them up evenly, but it does allow Rachel to do a straight back into the pocket and get rid of a lot of granite. She might be able to get rid of at least 3, 2 for sure. She hits it in the pocket, 2 for sure.
Other games going on. Carey Einarson, Bingyi Wang tied at 1 through 2 ends there. That's a Seaside game as well. So loser of that one goes home.
Where do you have to hit it? 7 eats. Okay, let's go.
Sherry Madaw in the other B-side finals, a 2-0 lead on Sherry Anderson right now. Rachel Homan's first rock of this third end. Trying to get rid of as many blue as she can. 1 goes, but 3 remain.
Just over curled on her, and she clipped the outside edge of the rock. Trying to keep it straight here. She hits the front one just inside and just clips the one rock over. Cecile just likely put the same rock back on top there. She can get it half covered around that guard, that's great. Even high is good. The part that's not so good for Rachel is those 2 staggered guards out front.
CC Ostlund and the Sigfridsson rink, their final stone of this third end.
Just putting a high guard out front.
So she pretty much plugs that up. And I think we're going to see a draw here from Rachel Homan.
Well,
it's going to have to be perfect, though.
Yeah. The good news is the out turn, they know this path. They threw a few rocks down here, and it does work around that high guard, so it will come in there towards the button.
Yep. Same as last end? Yep. Top button. I need to pick his a little bit wider. Sorry? So we need to add some hair wider. Lise was out here on her second, or is this wider than that? This end?
My second one.
Top button. No, this is wider. Okay. Probably could add a foot.
Yeah, just a foot.
Keep your brooms down then.
Yeah.
Okay. Emma's really went sideways and came down. Okay.
So the last rock of this third end belongs to Rachel Homan. She's drawing against 3 here.
Go ahead. Look. Line's really close. Yep. Yeah, line. Look. Line's great. We're there? I think we're there. Line's great. Go for it. Whoa, whoa. No, you're not on it. T-line. Yep. Hard, Lise. Great shot, Rach. Really good.
Nice shot. Nice try.
Nice one.
Looks like she'll only give up 1, but better than what it could have been for sure for the Homan rink. Instead, it's a steal of 1. And we're all square through 3 ends here between Rachel Homan and Margareta Sigfridsson. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Canadians Women's Classic from Portage la Prairie.
sometimes we all need our space. And that goes for recyclables too. Toss them loosely into the bin without stuffing containers into one another. For more recycling tips from Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba, visit simplyrecycle.ca.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub with a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, a destination for great sports all the time.
Back in Portage la Prairie and the Canadians Women's Classic as you take a look at the other action going on. Some really good games going on, as we mentioned. Bing Wang, Carrie Anderson, Jennifer Jones, Krista McCarville. And our feature game, Rachel Homan, Margareta Sigfridsson, through 3 ends here, all tied at 2 after the Sigfridsson rink able to steal 1 in that 3rd end. Could have been a lot more, but a nice draw by Rachel Homan to just allow for a steal of 1.
It was a great draw to count them down. She was looking at 3 and she had to bite the button just to count them out down to 1. So great draw by Rachel Homan.
The Homan rink, we talked about how it was such a shock they didn't qualify for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts last year, losing to Jen Hanna in the Ontario Provincial Final. She won 3 of the first 4 Grand Slam events last year, Rachel Homan did. She had such a good year that she was invited into the Elite 10 event, which is a men's event. And she was the lone women's team playing in that. That was an event later in the year. She went 1-3 in that. But still to qualify for that, a very successful year for Rachel Homan, despite not making it into the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Well, and not taking anything from away from Jen Hanna. She's been at the Scotties before and is a well-known curler and success in her own right. So she had a really great opportunity to go back to the Scotties, and I think she enjoyed that. Last time she was there, she lost a final to Jennifer Jones.
A very memorable final. Of course, the famous in-off shot from Jennifer Jones to win her first of what would be several Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
So Sigfridsson elected to put 1 in the house, their first rock in the house. Corner guard went up from Rachel, and Sigfridsson put another guard out front, just over curled a little bit. And now you see update where Homan's bringing this rock into the house, a tap back. The Sigfridsson zone out of the house to lie 1. You were all caught up.
The Homan team actually met the Jennifer Jones team early on in this Bonspiel on the B side, and you're thinking to yourself, what a game that's going to be. Turned out Rachel Homan won that one 8-0. So the Jennifer Jones rink obviously was off on that evening, but an 8-0 win for Homan in that B-side game dropped Jennifer Jones to the C-side, where she currently is right now, of course, playing Krista McCarville on the sheet next to us.
Well, it looks like this end they've got some rocks in play. It's not as clear as it was the last end. They've got a little bit something going over there, so we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Seeing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to be deep, but
I don't want to be deep. Throw what you think is like maybe a T line, and it'll slow down.
Joanne throwing her in-turn draw, always clarifying with your teammates, always talking, and so precise where, you know, at club level we're maybe going, oh, I'll just get it to the forefoot. They're actually talking within feet. Put an extra foot on that.
You're fine. Wait, Oli, take it out. Go in. Right back. Go, hard.
Had a number of people ask about the sweeping issue and the brooms this year, all about Broomgate that happened last year, and just to update those people that are playing in club, because I've had a number of people say, well, do I have to get rid of my broom, that sort of thing, what's the rule? And a lot of people that are playing in club do want to follow the rules that are being, introduced this year. And what has happened is a study, the Research Institute worked with World Curling Federation as well as Curling Canada and a number of players. They met in Kemptville, Ontario in May of 2016, this past May. And they had the Research Council Institute study the fabrics that were tested, came up with this yellow mustard nylon that you see on all the brooms here. And that is the fabric that will be allowed to be used at all sanctioned events, Curl Canada and World Curling Federation events, and CTRS point events. Now, at the club level, if you have a broom that isn't, they're not going to haul you off the ice, but at these events, it's mandatory and will be till 2018 in this quadrennial under Curling Canada's rules.
What's the reaction been like from curlers to that? Has it been pretty positive?
I think so. A lot of the, the diehards curlers, they love to see the shot making from the shooter, not conducted by the brooms and being able to maneuver or manipulate the path of the stone. So I think it goes back to, the essence of the game, and that's important to a lot of people. And it is a gentle person's game, and that's what we hope it will remain as. So nice to see that they did the research. They came together, all the forces, so to speak, and the curlers also were involved with it. So that's always a good thing when you have the players involved. And just a shout out to Dr. Homan. The girl I grew up with in Brandon was one of the scientists that was involved with that, and she's a Brandon girl.
Oh, there you go.
So it was nice to see the connection there.
Looks heavy. Mine's tight. Gotta go.
Big event coming up in Brandon in the next month, the Canada Cup.
For sure, the Canada Home Hardware Canada Cup. We're looking forward to hosting that. The Keystone Center. If you haven't got your tickets yet, please go down and get them. It'll be a great event. Brandon always is a great host. While we're building up a wall in front here, Kevin, they've got a lot of rocks in place, so nobody's bowing down here. They're all continuing to play fairly aggressive.
Gärna jämnhöjd med den! 15. Tänkte säga 10, men du har nog rätt. Tycker det är bra marginal av min tanna. Ja. Gå på det. Det drog jag här, va? Det gaddade jag. Inte ihåg. Gaddar, va? Mm. Bra fart! Bottenplats! Bra fart, 8-4! Gärna gå!
It's an in-turn draw to the forefoot. Interesting. She took a lot of ice on this. This in-turn is really moving hard.
It'll catch that blue at the top.
She took the middle of the 12-foot on that.
Big weekend for the Homan team coming up next weekend. It's the first Pinty's Grand Slam of curling event of the year in Okotoks, Alberta.
No, it's gotta curl. Never.
Emma throwing the takeout, trying to get the hit and roll to the center of the house.
Probably wanted more of a roll there.
Yeah, I don't think Rachel was very happy with that.
It's the WFG Masters next week in Okotoks. That's the first Pinty's Grand Slam of curling event, men's and women's. I counted before, I believe 7 teams who are here in Portage la Prairie this weekend will be part of that field as well, including the Homan team, who has won that Masters event 3 of the last 4 years.
Well, I think it's because they actually do the commercials with the Pinty. They have an edge there. Every curling team should be eating their pinties.
We'll have to look into that.
Really nice hit and roll.
Christina Bertrup on the shot there. And the Swedish rink lies too.
Okay, 7/8 on the inside and try and roll it. Okay. Cam.
Emma Miskew,
Yep.
third on this Homan team.
Really hard. Really hard.
Sweepers going all the way.
Try and rip that front open so they can get to those blue rocks. It worked out pretty good.
Shot.
A shout out to Arnold Asham. I saw him earlier today watching some of the curling. Emma just threw nice straight out turn down here to just rip off some of that front. Open it up.
You've seen a lot of people today. You're pretty popular here in Portage la Prairie.
Well, there's a lot of old friends, so to speak. I had to chuckle. I saw Sherry Anderson, Sherry Madaw earlier, and I see they were playing each other, and I said, it's flashback Thursday on a Sunday night here in Portage la Prairie. Sherry battling Sherry. I said, I'm the only announcer that would know that they go back to Saskatchewan days, not Ontario and Saskatchewan, but Saskatchewan versus Saskatchewan when they both played out of there.
Folks are coming up to you here in the Tavern United. We're upstairs at the Portage Curling Club. We're having to turn them away here because there's so many coming up to you. I'm telling them, no, we're on air, we're on air.
Well, it's good to see everybody and good to see a lot of people out watching the games. This is great curling. And lots of fan support here and lots of great smelling food too as we sit here. And oh, those wings.
It's been a great month of curling here in Portage. They had the men's classic last weekend. A couple weeks before that, a mixed doubles classic, and we'll talk about that throughout this broadcast. It was won by Rachel Homan and John Morris. Quite the duo there.
That is one strong duo. And for all those people out there that say skips can't sweep, I beg to differ.
So Homan's had some success here in Portage la Prairie already this year. Meanwhile, Cece Osland here throwing her first stone of this fourth end. And the guards with the blues up.
I think they're just looking to line these up, see if they can take all three.
So Homan here, of course, with the hammer after giving up singles in the second and third end.
Same as my last throw almost, eh? I hit the inside.
This is the Rachel specialty. She loves to throw this up weight, take out, and remove a lot of granite.
Hey, where do you have to hit? 7/8 on the inside. Okay.
How are you throwing it?
Hard and straight.
Okay, let's go.
First shot of this fourth end for Rachel Homan. Let's see how many blues she can get out of here. Just the one.
Yeah, just over curled on her and came inside of the target. They're sweeping it, trying to hold it straight here. She's got great weight on it. Just came inside of the blue and hit and rolled.
Let's go over a few sheets. This is sheet 3, a seaside semifinal between Manitoba's Carrie Anerson and Bingyu Wang. Winner gets a chance to play tonight for a spot into the playoffs. Loser goes home. They're tied at 1. They're in the fourth end right now. blank the third end after each team picked up a single point in the first couple ends.
Einarson trying to draw around some of the rocks in the house to sit shot.
Wang has hammer in this end, so this is Einarson's final stone, and it's pretty tight in there. We'll keep you posted on that, though. Back to our featured game. Cece Osler, her final stone of this fourth end.
Well, it's a bit of a tricky takeout. She has to hit all she can see. She doesn't want to jam it onto the blues in the back of the forefoot. You hear a hoop from Margareta.
So again, that will leave Rachel Homan with a draw against a couple blue rocks.
Yeah. Okay, full 4.
Although they're deliberating on what shot to throw here.
Second end, quick and crossed. I'd say same rate as last time if that's what they decide.
I think she's considering the tap.
You're gonna need less than the draw line though. That's less already. Tap. Okay.
So we saw her draw against 3 in the last end. A really tough draw. She was able to just give up the 1.
What's the shot range? Tap? How much weight?
I heard her say she's trying the tap here rather than a draw.
Sorry? We're in the middle.
Well, you know, she looked at that in-turn draw, and there's just, you can't take enough ice to make sure that you can get by those tight guards to the at the top of the ring. So, you know, this is maybe a little bit of a safer shot. She knows the line a little bit better on this path.
Last rock of this fourth end belongs to Rachel Homan.
Close. Yep. 9. Yep.
She'll try to tap her rock pretty much onto the button against 2 Swedish stones.
Hey, it's gotta go hard.
Sweeper's on it. It'll rub against the guard. Will it have enough? Look at that.
Wow, that was great sweeping by her front end. They got it just to graze the front and straighten that rock.
So it's 1 for Rachel Homan and a 3-2 lead over Margareta Sigfridsson from Sweden. We'll head over to the other sheets now. This is the Einarson-Wang matchup we were talking about. It looks like a draw for 2 here for the Wang team. And indeed she does. So 3-1 Bingyu Wang leading Carrie Einarson over on sheet 3. That is, of course, a seaside semifinal game. So winner stays alive, loser goes home. Sheet 2 right now, Sherry Anderson and Sherry Madaw. They're tied. Sorry, Sherry Madaw up 2-1 in that one. And Jennifer Jones, Krista McCarville tied at 1 over on sheet 4. So still lots to be determined here tonight on this Sunday night in Portage la Prairie. Mike Valente is going to have our skips interviews here in just a couple moments. So we will go there right now. Mike Valente with Margareta Sigfridsson from Sweden.
Thank you very much, Kevin and Maureen. Margareta, it's not typical that the skip throws lead stones. What was initially behind that decision?
It was several years ago that and we didn't have a lead. So when I was saying, well, I can throw lead stones, that's fine for me. And so I did, and I have kept doing that since then. And it works out quite all right.
You've been in Canada for a few months. You've gone back and forth. But what has your experience been like here in Canada?
Well, we come here to play the best events. So, well, we like it here. It's so good competition and a lot of good teams that every game is really good. So that's what we're looking for.
Through 4 ends, just your thoughts on what's transpired here so far?
Well, it has been interesting ends and a little bit of give and take from both teams. And, well, it's a good game so far.
Appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
There you go. We'll go to break. You are watching the 2016 Canadiens Women's Classic from beautiful Portage la Prairie on Shaw TV.
Six weeks ago, first-year curler Jonathan Chow could barely find his balance. But on the last rock of the last end of his Monday Night Men's League, he makes his first double takeout on purpose. Yeah, that's right. He called it. He made it. And today, for this one moment, Johnny the Hammer Chow feels like a pro. What will your great moment be?
Black cats, creepy crawlies, poisonous foods. So many scary topics on this week's Halloween special of Petology. Don't miss it.
Canadians Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club, the Canadiens Women's Classic, our feature game between Team Homan and Team Sigfridsson. A 3-2 lead for the Homan rink, as Rachel was just able to get that one in the fourth end, the little tap back of her own stone against two Swedish rocks, I should say.
Well, she just grazed that front stone, the guard out front, and just enough to straighten that rock back to bring it into the forfeit. She hits that any thicker, it's a steal of 2.
A lot of elite Canadian women's rinks playing as we speak. Jennifer Jones, Krista McCarville on their C-side game. Sherry Anderson, Sherry Madaw over in the other B-side final. A lot of these teams, they have to get there first, but Maureen, who are you looking at as a potential couple of favorites for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts this year when it comes around in February? I got to think Rachel Homan. If she can get there, of course, this year has to be one.
Well, I'll go with Chelsea Carey because I know she's going to be there for sure.
Yes, we can guarantee that.
But yeah, it's going to be, you know, it's always interesting to see who comes out of each of the provinces, and you know, it's the expectation is that those ones that are playing at this high level are going to be there. So the Rachel Homans and the, you know, Krista McCarvilles or the Sherry Madaws, there's always, you know, those top teams pushing the envelope, trying to get to the Scotties. Until you kind of see where everybody kind of is at near you know, the end of November, who's hot and who's not. I can't do a prediction because there's so many great teams that are competing. And, you know, I just noticed too in Alberta, they had a couple spills out there, and there's some young curlers coming through. It's great to see that there's a lot more teams playing in some of these provinces, so that bodes well for curling as well.
Even in Manitoba, I don't think you can say it's a sure thing. Of course, Jennifer Jones will be a pretty big favorite, but we saw Carrie Anderson get there last year. And some good Manitoba rinks will be on at the Manitoba Provincial Championships this year, being hosted by the Charleswood Curling Club. But the games will be played at the Eric Coy Arena, which will be interesting.
Well, it's nice to play in an arena and with arena ice because you're going to the Scotties where the ice is in an arena. So that's an advantage that we have at our provincial championships. The other thing is, I don't know if a lot of people realize, but Christy McDonald has stepped aside and Michelle Engelot has taken over her team. Christy McDonald's team lost in the final last year to Carrie Anderson. So there's another team that will be vying for the provincial Scotties, as well as, you know, we can't forget Kathy Overton. There's Darcy Robertson, Barb Spencer is a full Spencer rink this year with her 3 daughters playing with her. So, you know, it's going to be a really interesting provincials for Manitoba. But again, for all the provinces, I'm really liking what I see coming out of Alberta. There's a lot of new teams.
Even some of these young Manitoba rinks, Shannon Burchard is still alive in this event. She'll be in a Seaside final later tonight. Chance to qualify for the playoffs. So she's had a pretty good week.
Yeah, Michelle Montford, another great team. I believe she's been on the curling circuit and had some good results.
The Michelle Englot-led team you mentioned also will be in the Seaside final in the coming up in the next draw. So a lot of Manitoba representatives still alive here in Portage la Prairie. Englot's the longtime player from Saskatchewan, and like you said, moved over to Manitoba this year to join the Christy McDonald team.
Well, and it was a good move for Michelle because with the CTRS points, you have to have 3 of your 4 members returning to maintain those points. And her not having, leaving her team, but going to a team that has 3 teammates remaining, she doesn't lose any. They don't lose any of their points, and she can bring her points with her. So it was a great move for Michelle. They actually went over to, I believe, Japan. In the earlier part of the season and tried it out, test pilot the new skip, and everything was really great over there. They had some success and enjoyed the team atmosphere, and here we are.
Fifth end here between Rachel Homan, Margareta Sigfridsson. A lot quieter than our first 4 ends, as just a lone yellow one play right now, soon to be taken out.
Yeah, we've just been playing the rocks up and down here, exchanging takeouts. I looked at the teams here, Kevin, and it's a 60-40 split pretty much. 60% of the teams that are in this spiel are from Canada. The other 40% are from US, Europe, and Asia. Seeing a lot more US teams making their way over the border to come and play in the Canadian Bonspils.
Of all the stops they make too, they got to be pretty impressed, I'd say, with this Portage la Prairie stop. They've got their hotel attached to the curling rink. I don't think that happens at a lot of places elsewhere. This is a pretty big advantage for a lot of these rinks.
Loved coming to curl here, especially in the middle of winter when it was really cold. You parked your car and you just stayed indoors for the whole weekend. You didn't have to go out. You didn't have to get in your car. You didn't have to travel to the rink. It was all here. And of course, I mean, Canadians is a really special host of this event. You asked me about this being a draw. What's the big draw for this spiel? Well, the purse is the biggest draw. It's $60,000, and somebody's going to go home with a lot of money in their pocket. But with that money, brings in all these top name teams, these high-level players, high-level teams, and it also brings in the opportunity to add to your points for the Olympic trial spots. But best part, I think, is that you get to play here, you get to stay here, and it's all in one. And Canad hosts a really great event here, and hats off to Trent Ward. He's been doing this for a while, and he's been involved with this spiel. And the ice makers, of course. That's another good thing. I think if you ask the European teams or the Asian teams what they like about curling in Canada, I think they would say the ice is very predictable, very consistent.
So the same here? The same as yours?
This is the 3rd big event here in Portage in the last month. We mentioned the men's classic last week, mixed doubles a couple weeks ago.
Is it here? So just keep our
I asked the Canadian CEO, are there plans for a 4th event maybe down the road? And he didn't rule it out, so you never know. We may see even more elite curling coming to Portage la Prairie.
Out in the nice stuff here. As long as I get out.
Well, it's a great stop on the tour, and I think a lot of the men's and women's teams really appreciate coming to a facility like this.
I thought your tap and the
It'll be the same though when they come to Brandon for the Home Hardware Canada Cup. The Canad Inn is connected to the Keystone Center, and that'll be an exciting event to host in Brandon. We haven't had a big curling event for a while, so.
All there. Just clean it for now. Take a look. 7. More than us, or just you? 7.
Portage la Prairie hosts the men's Viterra Championship, the provincial men's championship later on this year. So it won't be here though, it'll be at the PCU Center, which is the hockey rink on the island. So another nice facility though there.
Oh yeah.
And I know they hosted the provincial Scotties there a few years ago, and from the sounds of things, it was a pretty big success. So.
I actually played in that Scotties. It was a wonderful facility to play in, and just magnificent facility to have in this community and on the island. All the facilities they have there. They have an indoor water park. They have an outdoor water park. I know a lot of people from Winnipeg drive out to actually utilize the water park. It's just a wonderful. The rec facilities they have in Portage are just outstanding. Hats off to the city of Portage.
Meanwhile, they're in skip stones here. It's been a very quick moving end. It's just one rock in play. And we're likely going to see a blank. This is CC Ostland.
Looking like a little bit of a practice session this end.
That was her first stone, to clarify.
Okay. Well, don't mind taking the curling side. Sure. Normal? Normal? Okay, yeah. You like that ice? Yeah, it looks like max.
Why maybe the call to go so aggressive in the first 4 ends, and then in the 5th end here, why all of a sudden the call to just play it pretty straightforward?
Well, you want to take a bit of a breather for, you're playing 4 ends of really intense curling, but also you want to be aggressive in the first part of the game. You've only got 8 ends, and you give up a big end in the first part of the game. You still have some time to come back, but and that's why you take a few more chances perhaps, but. As it gets closer to the end of the game, the second half of the game, now it's a little bit more strategic on when you want to go hard and when you don't want to go hard. And this end didn't amount to anything right off the bat. Neither team wanted to take that chance, so they unofficially agreed to play it through. The other point too is it's an odd end, so they're looking at scoring on an even end if you've got the hammers. So happy to just blanket, move on.
So CC Ostland, the thrower of the last rock for the Sigfridsson team, will look to hit and roll out for the blank. And she does just that. So the score remains the same here after 5 ends. Rachel Homan 3, Margareta Sigfridsson 2. Mike Valente will have some social media for us here in a little bit. But first we'll go over to sheet 4. It's Jennifer Jones and Krista McCarville. They're all tied at 1 here. This is Jones' last rock of this 4th end. It looks like a pretty straightforward draw.
She's drawing to lie 3, I believe.
So Jones an open draw for 3, and she's got it, and she takes a 4-1 lead. The elimination game there, loser of that one goes home. Mike Valente, what have you got for us?
Thanks very much, Kevin and Maureen. A social media update for you indeed. Jennifer Jones is always a huge name at any women's curling event. And Caitlin Laws, the third for Team Jennifer Jones, is on Twitter as well as Instagram. She posted this a few weeks ago, quite adorable. I'm going to ask her later tonight if her team plans on changing their look this season. I think they could easily rock the velvet. I'm a big fan. In fact, I would drape myself in velvet if it was socially acceptable. That's a Seinfeld reference. Don't worry about it. Also, when you play any sport, you're always close with your teammates. And in this case, even when they aren't there physically, you still find a way. That's hilarious. I feel like I'm picking on Caitlin a little bit, but certainly don't mean to. That's just very, very funny. And lastly, it's not just about having chemistry with your teammates on the curling rink. Shannon Burchard graduated back in June from the University of Winnipeg with a Bachelor of Science, so congratulations to her. That'll do it for your social media update. We're online all the time, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Shaw TV Winnipeg. You can also watch a live stream on our Shaw TV Winnipeg YouTube page. Let's send it back upstairs now to Kevin and Maureen. Guys?
Mike Valente, thank you very much. Digging through the depths of the internet there to find some really interesting posts, though, by those curlers.
We need line 2.
I think Caitlin's a little bit of a ham.
2. 1.5.
Well, this end, to catch you up, the Homan team put one in the top 12 foot. Sigfridsson decided to put a corner guard up, and you see this rock coming in here, high guard.
This is a B-side final game. We will be on the air for the 8:30 draw later tonight for a C-side final. 4 playoff spots will be up for grabs at 8:30 tonight. So some potentially good matchups that we may have for you. We don't know yet, though, as that is yet to be decided.
So Margareta is trying to come around the guard and tap the yellow stone, Homan stone, to the back of the house. Again, those guards out front cannot be removed now or until now, so they'll ask to do a straight run back.
Okay, so how much am I hitting?
I'm still laughing at the velvet by Mike.
And of course, he had to drop it a Seinfeld reference. You knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
I know him a little better than you do, but he was always going to drop a Seinfeld reference there. He always looks for a way to do that.
Well, I always look for Madagascar with Kathy Gauthier, so she'll have a good chuckle over that if I drop one about that. So I relate to Mike very well.
You know he's just cooking up what he's going to say in our next game and tomorrow as well. So
I look forward to it. Bring it on, Mike.
Vad är dryg 10? Är det 80? Ja, 85? 80 på det kanske. Jag hade 75-80 som var bak 4. Ja, 80 tror jag. Lättare spår. Ja.
Looking for a tap back on the top 12-foot rock.
60, 68, 63. Bak 4!
You saw Rachel's rock here really take off, so it'll be interesting to see if they can hold it straight.
So remember, winner of this game into tomorrow's playoffs here at the Canadians Women's Classic as we take a look at the replay of that last shot.
It's coming down here a little. Oh, the straight back. Yeah, it just jammed.
Winner in the playoffs. Loser has to come back out tonight at 8:30 and play a seaside game. They will play the winner of the Carrie Anderson-Bing Yuang game. Right now, Bing Yuang has a 3-1 lead on Manitoba's Carrie Anderson. They're in the 5th end.
Just throwing half weight here, trying to come around the guard to tap back the 12-foot Sigfridsson stone.
Off.
solid. Close. No, never. It's good. Good, Joe. Good.
Nicely done.
Ja. Lika långt. Det vore bra att inte ligga precis bakom. Ja. Den sitter ner i bakre, va? Ja. Sitter den där då? Den sitter ner i bakre, va? Där och vicka ut. En gång till. Den sitter ner i bak, va? Ja, men det gör inte så mycket. Ja. Finns det någon vick ut? Eller kommer vi inte in i Bodo? Jo, men jag tycker att det är nästan bättre att lägga... Ja. Alltså chappen är inte hela världen heller. Ja.
Well, new this year is having all players mic'd.
We've got all 8 of them mic'd for you, so.
So everyone's hearing all the discussions that are going on, which is great, except we can't speak Swedish.
Kom igen! Ja! Fyra! Hårt. Hårt ligger ganska bra, hårt. Japp! Långt! Hårt!
That worked out really well. She got the back one as well, and she hit the front, doubled them off to light 2 blue.
Sigfridsson rink with hammer here after they blanked the 5th. As they move into 3rd stones.
Whatever you think. Doesn't matter to me. I don't mind like a normal. Yeah, I think normal. You got mixed up there, right?
We go over to sheet 3 now. We mentioned loser of our game has to face winner of Bingyu Wang, Carrie Anderson. They were just doing some measuring, and Bingyu Wang has added another point to her total, now at 4-1 through 5 ends. That's the 2009 world champ, Bingyu Wang. Kind of took the curling world by storm. Not a lot of people were expecting that from her, but they came in and...
That was so exciting to watch her win.
A couple wins over
that.
the Jennifer Jones team, I think, as well. So
that year, though, it was so exciting to watch them win. They were just thrilled. I'll try and for a double here.
Great shot, Em.
Great shot by Em.
Emma Miskew removes both blue stones.
Didn't overthrow this by any means. They're sweeping it right in. Just need the inside of that rock to get the double.
The defending champion of this Canadian Women's Classic, Youngjung Kim, has already been eliminated. She defeated Jennifer Jones in last year's final, but it was Krista McCarville who actually eliminated her earlier today. So we will have a new champion this year.
Interesting call here. She's drawing around the corner guard. We haven't seen many rocks down this spot at all.
Okay.
Ends up second shot, but it's not all bad.
First shot. Yeah. What did you guys get? Right on it?
More action there from the Anderson-Wang game. Bingyu Wang 4-1 leading Carrie Anderson, the Manitoba finalist from a year ago.
I don't want, yeah.
Sure.
Carrie had been, Kevin Carrie had been knocking at the door for a number of years, and it was nice to see her win her first provincial title last year.
I think it's okay.
Finished 4th at the Scotties, which is
ended up playing Jennifer Jones in,
in
one of the playoff games, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, for the bronze medal, and unfortunately got 4th, but a good showing for Carrie at her first Scotties. Oh, that rock just hung out there. And now it's giving Sigfridsson the chance to put another one in there. Bury around that corner guard.
This is one B-side final. The other B-side final going on right now between Sherry Anderson and Sherry Madaw. The Sherry Anderson rink picking up a 3-ender. Now with a 4-3 lead on Sherry Madaw. They're in the 6th end. Winner of that into the playoffs tomorrow. Playoffs tomorrow, 8 spots, so a quarterfinal system into the semis and then into the final. The final we have for you on Shaw TV at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. It was interesting at the men's classic last week here in Portage, the two teams that got through on the A side, Kevin Cooey, Brad Jacobs, both out in their first playoff game. So it doesn't really matter how you get into the playoffs here. You just got to find a way to sneak in.
Sometimes going through the sea, you have that momentum, and you've played a lot of rocks and you played a lot of ends, and sometimes that's a benefit. Although the A-side winners do get to come out and throw some time to practice, so it's not that they're sitting idly waiting to play.
Those A-side rinks to qualify for the A-side this year: Anna Hasselborg from Sweden, Tracy Fleury from Ontario. Meanwhile here, Rachel Homan.
Go quiet! Yep, go. 11!
They jumped on this right away.
Run it! 11!
Her first rock of the 6th end is going to crash.
All the way over, roll it hard! Hard!
Well, you heard Emma, she yelled right away, a little tight. Just didn't have a chance, that rock.
Så den är bra här också. Ja, bara med dubbel så. Ja, fast hellre den än den bakom. 05, ja, precis. Ja, de har ju varit nästan ända full 4, va? Såg ut som att titta på. Den är väl perfekt där, va? Ja, den är bra. Vad heter det? Jag skulle kunna tänka mig att garda den där också. Lite längre in, länge sedan vi var här liksom. Vi har dragit väldigt utanför.
They're thinking of two things, either a guard or draw around, and if they draw around, they're just trying to determine where the best spot for it to stop without setting up a double for the Homan team. And behind the tee line would be death. That would give an out for Rachel. Draw to it.
Marginalen. Ja, jag tror 0 mot 10. Ja, bra. Nu behöver vi typ halva på vikt för att vara bättre. Ja, hela på vikt. Ja. 0 10, bra.
CC Oslin's first rock of the 6th end. And she buries that.
Beautiful, beautiful weight, beautiful line.
This is the 3rd time something's been down here, so I think
they are working this as hard as they can sweep. Really good sweeping here. Just get it by the front. A little sigh of relief there, and then they realize they can take it a little bit further to tee line.
I think the way I've been throwing them,
excellent shot.
That'll be pretty close. Because I think the way I've been throwing them, they've been curling up half an inch.
Rachel looking for the double stick.
Here, H. How are you throwing it? Positive. Okay.
It's an important shot here for Rachel Homan.
Yeah. Thanks.
With Sigfridsson lying a couple.
Let's go, H.
Homan will try to remove some of them with her last rock of this sixth end.
Oh, yes! Hard!
Trying to hit this blue and roll, and what a shot by Rachel Homan. And now Homan lies two.
She took negative ice on this on the inside of the rock through the out turn at it. This is a really gutsy double. Had to hit it fairly thin. Rolled through. Ends up in the back 8 foot.
So instead of looking at potentially a couple, CC Oslin and the Sigfridsson rink, they're going to have to just draw for one here.
Going out a little farther as well on the ice for this draw.
Last rock of the sixth then, and you see Margareta Sigfridsson is going to come out to help sweep this one.
This one's going sideways. She's very late.
Trying to bring it in there.
Good sweeping.
And it looks like it's only going to be a steal of one. They're going to look at it. Or maybe not. They decided pretty quickly. But they give up a steal. Over to some other action now. This is Sherry Anderson and Sherry Madaw battle the Sherrys on sheet 2. We mentioned Anderson had a 3 in the fifth end and now leads 4-3. A couple of veteran curlers there. Winner of this game heads into tomorrow's playoffs. Madaw and Anderson. Meanwhile, it's a steal of one for Rachel Homan in this B-side final. She continues to lead Sweden's Margareta Sigfridsson 4-2. Back in a moment. Canada's Women's Classic from Portage la Prairie.
As Canadians, we have fought for others. We have fought to get here. And we never back down from a challenge. Today, we need you to fight again. Because in Canada, more people develop multiple sclerosis than anywhere else in the world. So, what will you do? Flee or fight?
They enrich so many moments in our lives. They help us in ways we expect and in ways we count on every day. If you love pets as much as we do, don't miss Shaw TV's pet show called Petology. We have an animal expert panel ready to answer your pet questions, so email them to createtv@shaw.ca or give us a call. Don't forget to send us your pet pictures and videos too. Petology, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. right here on Shaw TV.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub with a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, a destination for great sports all the time.
Back here at the Canada's Women's Classic in Portage la Prairie, B-side final, Rachel Homan, Margareta Sigfridsson. A steal of one for the Rachel Homan team in that sixth end to go up 4-2 here. Seventh end action underway.
Well, Rachel asked for the first stone to go right into the top 4 foot, and Sigfridsson has put corner guard up. So looks like Sigfridsson's going to try and go for their 2, but they're running out of ends here to get their deuce.
Let's make sure we're guarding the pro side. Yeah. Okay.
Fabulous weekend of curling here in Portage la Prairie. Big weekend of sports in Manitoba too, especially in Winnipeg. All the Heritage Classic events over the last couple of days. The phenomenal alumni game. I was actually in the stands for that one. Really cool event for sure. Jets alumni picking up a winner of the Oilers alumni. And then the actual game this afternoon had to be delayed a couple hours because of the sun, but they got it in. The Edmonton Oilers were victorious there, 3-0. They defeated the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, it looked like a great crowd watching the game as well, and I think just a wonderful day of wonderful weather for a neat game outside.
It's not often you're complaining about too much sun, but they had that issue there today.
Margreta trying to freeze on top of the Homan stone. Lovely stone. She has really, really good draw weight.
Okay. Weight's fine. Yeah, give it to us. Yeah. Give it to us, Joe. Yeah, similar to your line.
She couldn't have come down and set this rock any better. She just corner freezes right up to the Homan stone. Exactly what she wanted to do.
That's there. Freeze it! Freeze great! Freeze it! Fine. Got room! Watch for it to come down. I think it's lots of room.
Joanne Courtney, the second for this Homan team.
Bouncing reach. Go all the way, hard. Take it hard. As hard as you can.
I mentioned the Homan team losing their first game of this weekend on Friday morning to the Gimi team. But they've rolled off 4 straight wins, looking for a 5th straight win here in this one, and would qualify them for tomorrow's playoffs.
Well, Joanne was just a little heavy with her rock, and it bounced off the Sigfridsson stone. So this gives Sigfridsson another chance to put another stone into the bundle there. Really been impressed with the Sigfridssons' weight control. Their draw weight is just phenomenal.
I like that. Pick that. Even if you pick this top on, it's okay.
Again, every bonspiel, every shot so important for the Sigfridsson team. As in Sweden, you're chosen to represent your country at the World Championships. There's no tournament process or anything like they do here in Canada. You're chosen by the Swedish Curling Federation. And they've got another good rink they're competing against, the Hasselborg rink. We mentioned them a few times already tonight. They're in this tournament. They've already qualified for the playoffs. They're representing Sweden at the European Championships in about a month from now. If they're able to get enough good results here in these events, the Swedish Federation will surely take note.
Needs to curl a bit. Come on, buddy. Really close. It's good, really good.
Joanne Courtney does exactly what her skip asked, to double those stones off. There's the up weight here. Runs fairly straight with that weight. They don't lay a brush to it. Straight back, cornered the blue rock onto the yellow and rolled out.
Winner of this game into the playoffs, and they get the late draw off. And tomorrow, in the quarterfinal, they will also play the winner of a Seaside final tonight between Jamie Sinclair, Minnesota rink, and Winnipeg rink Shannon Burchard. So the winner of that Burchard-Sinclair game tonight faces the winner of this game in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Got all that?
I'm just amazed that you've got it all worked out. Lots of teams and lots of ways to end up playing whoever. You've got it all worked out, Kevin.
Jag gillar att göra något runt. Jag tänker vi vill ju få in någon till sten här också.
I've been trying to decide whether they bring one in or guard. I think it's a little early to bring it in, but
Bak till eller här då, men det blir svårt att komma runt med en till då.
10 eller här. Svårt att gömma om vi vill dra en framför 10. Det är på om vi skulle försöka skava på gul, så jag trycker gul bakom våra. Ja. Det är ganska lustigt. Bak 4-10 tror jag vi kan gömma det bäst, och då har vi ändå skavet som en bra out. 85 eller? Ja, 85-90. Genom! Bak 8! Bak 12! Bak 12 igenom! Vänta!
Maria Wennerström is second on the Sigfridsson rink.
Ja! Bak 12! Hårt! Nej, det är bra. Bra där.
That turned out really well, actually, chipping off the Homan stone. Rolling behind the two corner guards.
Again, 3 more games going on. Sorry, Maureen.
Sorry, Kevin.
3 more games going on. As we look at one of them, this is sheet 3, Carrie Anderson, Bingyu Wang. Trying to tap for 2 there, it looks like. That's the Anderson team. Looks like they'll only get the 1. So the score there now through 6 ends, Bingyu Wang 4, Carrie Anderson 2. So Anderson a bit of a deficit now to make up with not a lot of time left.
Yes.
And the winner of that one plays the loser of our feature game at 8:30.
Well, that just went over the top of the blue stone. So Margareta will ask for another stone to be drawn around the 2 corner guards.
Think right here and tap it. That's it. Back 4. It's not moving at all. They're not releasing and they're not going. And even if you go into here, it's fine. Gotta get to nose, guys.
Nose tap.
At least what you got on their draw there. I got 14-1.
What's Emma Misty going to try here?
Well, she can only see about just over half of the blue stone. So I think she's just going to try and tap back. Just get some separation with those stones at this point. As Rachel said, there's no release of the blue rock that's sitting corner froze to the yellow. She believes it'll go on to the other blue rock, so just going to spread them out a bit.
Gotta be here. 7. 8. No. 8. 9. Never. 9. Needs to get up to the blue.
It's tapping. We're back 4, back 8.
And Homan lies 2.
Didn't turn out exactly how they wanted it. It leaves the double there. Actually, a double and roll.
Jag tycker att micken är det viktigaste, inte dubbeln.
Nej, precis.
2.
Funderade på om vi behöver flytta nu eller om vi skulle kunna dra, men vi kanske behöver flytta.
Om vi behöver frysa sen tror jag att vi kan slå loss. Det är nog kanske rätt ändå.
You can just hit that inside nose. On the downside, she can get a little bit of a flop behind cover and the double.
Christina Berntrup, the 3rd on the Sigfridsson team. Quite the yell and quite the shot.
was a great shot. She got a really great roll out of that.
And the Swedish team lies 3 as we take a look at that
all
again
the way
on the
down.
replay.
Yeah, they were sweeping really, really hard to keep the line on this rock all the way down. She just got enough to double them out the back and get a great roll behind the corner guards. Those guards are staggered too, Kevin, so it's going to be tough to get anything straight back.
She held that scream for a good, what was that, 6-7 seconds?
Yeah, she
Might
definitely
have willed that rock.
Yeah, she willed it to stay put.
Yeah, but I can only get rid of 2. Yeah, but get rid of 2 and there's only get 2. It's up to you where we drop. I don't really know what else to do. Okay. What do you guys like?
This is tough.
Sorry?
This is tough, hey?
And if you can get 3rd shot,
yeah, then what do they do?
This one.
Never a great sign when your skip says, I don't really know what else to do, but that's the situation the Homan team
even if we're right
in
beside
here.
this, we don't even have to be buried.
Okay,
this one's at least gone. We don't have to be buried here. Okay.
No.
Well, if she corner buries
If
on
I
top
chap
of the blue
off,
end,
she's got to roll somewhere big, right?
Leaves a bit of a hazard there.
Yeah, we gotta get by. So we'll take ice and hope that it curls. Same as yours. Yeah. Okay. Mine would have been good if it.
I thought you threw about what you threw for your draw this way.
It's us now.
Like I wanted to sweep it and you didn't have to.
Do you want your 5?
Your 6.
6. Please. Thanks.
Seems like regular draw speed, please. It's quick.
I think so, yeah. It seems
like I wanted to sweep Emma's, but it was fine.
Yeah. Would have been throwing?
Yeah,
Exactly. Real straight here and fast.
Yeah. Top 4. Close.
Yep.
So Rachel Homan's first rock of the 7th end.
6. Yep. I think we're there. I don't know. 6. Hard. Gotta go. 6. Hard.
Sweeper's really digging in here.
Yep. Tap it. Go. Hard. Gotta get there. Go. Real good. Great shot,
It's a great shot.
Du får offra den liksom. Det slår så hårt bara kanske. Jag tänker en 40, 30 kanske. Eller
Another look at that one.
Well, they're sweeping her really hard, and then they kind of got off it a little bit. Little panic there. Got by the guards, and then swept it right in to tap that blue and roll off. Just enough to keep some backing behind it.
2/3 då. Kanske 60.
Homan's had to make a couple of big shots here tonight against 2, against 3, and she's been pretty good on most of them.
Yeah, her weight control has been really, really good.
One reason why she's up 4-2 here, the 7th end.
And the discussion would be good for those out there that, you know, heard her say she didn't like anything. There wasn't really anything there, and they talked through it and said, you know what, this isn't bad. We can still draw to here, maybe even bounce a little bit. Really took the end away from Sigfridsson here.
Vi måste våga spela den tajt och gå ner i fart. Ja. Jag tror inte att vi kan spela 3 på den. Samma is som i 20? Ja. Tror det går rakt här? Ja, det gör det ju. 5 är bra.
It looks like they're going to just try to tap it back a little bit, get some rocks moving a little bit, move that yellow one kind of off the face of the blue one and to the right, bounce it off a little bit.
So CC Austin's first rock of the 7th end. Remember, the Swedish team has the hammer here. This is her first stone. Just past the yellow.
Wow, that was a great shot. I don't know if she could have made that any better. That rock was fairly covered.
Oh, I didn't notice. I don't think it matters.
He got off. She just got by that front.
It'll still be shot.
Hit as much as she could of that Yellowstone to roll it away.
So yellow lies one, but it opens it up.
She can't get to that
For
one
sure.
without hitting that.
Yeah.
So this will be shot over top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be for 2.
Okay, same shot.
Make sure we stay half
To a
on the
potential
floor.
tap or something like that.
For sure.
Same curl.
Heads up,
And
if anything, it needs to throw in a hair extra.
I have to wait for line on this rock.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we can bump the back one, that'd be real good.
that'd be great. Same weight. Lock it on if we can.
Let's throw it the same.
Yeah.
Rachel throwing the same shot she just threw.
Is it the same ice?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have to pay for that top one though.
Yeah.
Heads
Okay.
up.
Rachel Homan's final rock at the 7th end.
7, 6, little light. Weight's good. Weight's good. 6,
Lots
7.
of room, lots of room.
7.
Right off.
A 4-2 lead.
Never, never, never.
Over weight. Off.
Please stay close.
Please. Hard. Go, 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 go.
Hard.
What a shot.
Great shot.
And now she lies too.
Eller bara trycka den.
She couldn't have come down and placed that rock better.
Fan.
No way that she had beautiful weight here. They're watching it right into the house. Just a little bit of sweeping to keep the line straight. Past, just sneaks past that top 4-foot rock and sits for second shot.
So again, the Sigfridsson rink maybe had visions of a couple in the sends a few shots ago. Well, that'll be left with a tricky shot.
Now they're scrambling just to get one.
Nej, jag tror bara den fastnar här. Okay. Eftersom den kommer därifrån.
And you have to be careful this 7th end. The scoreboard dictates, you know, you give up a couple here steals. Now it's really getting out of reach. So you really have to commit to what you need here. She definitely needs to score.
And even if they are to get one, Homan would have the hammer coming home here, although a steal is certainly possible.
Så bara fått 90 eller? Ja, det tror jag är bra. Yes.
So are they looking at tapping that blue back?
I believe so. This is not an easy tap either. This line here is a bit tricky. Definitely weight sensitive here.
Final stone of the 7th end. CC Ostlund and the Sigfridsson rink from Sweden. They trail 4-2. Trying to get one here.
She can angle it back on that back yellow one, so beautiful shot.
Able to get her one. So the Sigfridsson rink staying alive here as we'll head into the 8th end. Rachel Homan ahead 4-3. We'll be right back. Canada's Women's Classic from Portage la Prairie.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, did you want to?
Sorry, I'll let you.
Next time. Okay.
Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity. And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Wednesday, October 26th, when the Victoria Royals look to avenge last year's playoff heartbreak, when they head north to Kelowna to battle it out with the Rockets. Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub with a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, a destination for great sports all the time.
Back here in Portage la Prairie, Homan and Sigfridsson, winner to the playoffs, loser to the Seaside. Rachel Homan with a 4-3 lead on Margareta Sigfridsson as we begin play in this 8th end. And Homan has the hammer.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Well, that guard that has gone up cannot be removed,
So right
the free
here,
guard
but
zone.
not super positive. That's good
So
ice.
Rachel will just ask for this rock to be thrown through. Or sorry, she'll just ask to draw around and cut off the guard.
Close, yep. Just 11. Really hard. Hard, guys. Hard, Joe, you got it. Really close. Really. Whoa. Off. Whoa. Off. Jeez. Oh, my God.
This one's going to go right through.
I maybe jinxed her. Feel bad.
Marie. So the Sigfridsson rink certainly weren't banking on that.
No, not at all.
And looking for a steal here in this 8th end. They're going to try to take advantage of this.
Well, they'll put another one up front, utilizing the free guard zone.
Yep. Yep. Bra fart. Linje. Mellan.
This one, they'll want this one really tight to the 12-foot, just out front. It's kind of taken off, like same as Leslie's did.
Okay. Det är bra. Okej där. Mamman stannar om de fickar igen. Do you want to take it a little this way so the double's easier? Okay. You can
like
take
that?
either one.
Sorry, what is she
Or do you,
want?
same way? Yeah, I like the
Same weight?
Yep.
That was good hack, eh?
Oh, so she's trying to play the tick.
Yeah.
That was the call on the first rock. Tick on the inside and roll away. Some people like to come across the face of the rock and tick it that way.
Whoa, Joe. No.
Never.
No.
I think we got it this time.
Roll
All the
it.
way up, yeah. I know, but I just...
By the way, they're shaking hands on sheet 3. Bingyi Wang has picked up a victory over Carrie Anerson, Manitoba's Carrie Anerson. The Wang rink moves on to tonight's draw in the Seaside final. The Anerson rink will head home. And the Bingyi Wang rink will face the loser of our feature matchup tonight between Rachel Homan and Margareta Sigfridsson.
Lite trött på det där. 05 och Magansen var just det. Det är ju i och för sig den knäppa stenen då, men... Ja, men 85 och lite snurr då. Ja. Bra. Det känns bra. 80. 4! Han kan hålla. 4-10! Ja, linjen är bra. Linan start. Pass på. Tappa när den kommer in.
Maria trying to draw around the guards.
Nina kör! Långt ner av måste helt över linan. Linjen är okej. Japp. Bra. 80. 75.
Nicely done. Nice weight.
So come up a hair, maybe? I think it goes indoors. Really? I think it goes over it. It's up to you. I like this one. Okay. Should just come up.
We mentioned Homan and John Morris, the dream duo almost, picking up a win here in the mixed doubles classic about a month ago or so, a little less than a month ago here in Portage.
Yep, gotta go.
with that, she earns a berth into the mixed doubles trials. So, you know, she'll be looking to get into the Olympics with her team here, but another way to get into those Olympics with John Morris potentially, with mixed doubles, of course, becoming an Olympic sport for the very first time in 2018, and Rachel Homan might have a shot at that.
We were in Sochi, Russia, when they were doing the demonstration at the World Mixed Doubles, and the committee for the Olympic delegation was there and really liked what they saw with the event. It is a different type of curling. Everything is mostly drawing to the middle, but it is very, very intense. It's timed and exciting to watch, and we'll look forward to seeing who is going to be representing us at the next Olympics in that sport, in that doubles.
Believe it or not, Canada's an underdog when it comes to mixed doubles. You don't think that when it comes to curling, and Canadians usually were the favorites in a lot of international events that we attend, but there are some powerhouse mixed doubles countries, and according to Jeff Stoughton, who is the mixed doubles manager of Curling Canada, he says there's going to be some tough games.
Well, it's a big thing over in Europe. They play it a lot. It's an easy way to get a team together over there. We did witness that they're very good at it. They've been playing it a lot longer than we have. So, yeah, we are a bit of the underdogs, are coming from maybe lack of experience in that. But hopefully Jeff can get us all up to date and playing this doubles game a little bit more across the country, and we'll have a good shot at it.
Tough not to have faith in Jeff Stoughton either.
This is a great shot, just through really controlled takeout weight. And doubles those two rocks off and rolls to the side. There still is a guard up front. All is not lost yet for Sigfridsson.
So we're into third stones now. The Sigfridsson rink needing a steal of at least one. To force an extra. A steal of more than one, they win the game.
I think that rock actually picked when it got into the house and went a little bit sideways on them. Mescue will just remove this, peel this rock out of here, roll away. And Sigfridsson is just asking for the guard out front to just half cover the rock she put in the 8 foot.
Hon kommer inte ta den i bo, va? Hon kommer väl ta centern. 10. Nära. Märket. Nära. Och så. Behöver inte curla så mycket mer. Eller lite närmare. Risk in. Ingen bromsen, risk in. In. 4. Nära. Bra. Det är bra. Okej. Det är det. Come look at it. Nice to make this. The quarter's close.
She's throwing this out.
Pretty close together, so a quarter's close.
You can get away with the foot more.
You could go thin if you want.
I haven't seen anything skate.
And I don't want to do that.
Even slower. Yeah, like they had a 14-2.
Yeah, that's real thin.
4.
I don't mind trying to hit.
And they didn't sweep it.
Half.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like half a rock. Okay. Keep your weight up. I guess if I'm gonna miss, I'll miss to jam it. Yeah, Joe's floated here.
As this one? Yeah. Except it's just
Do you know the inside line? I don't. A quarter will get it. High side though, I think. Or at least we'll be shot. Yeah.
How much should hit him?
Either quarter or
2/3.
Okay.
I'll throw lots of weights and hopefully get knocked in. Feels
Well,
fine.
good discussion with Emma and Rachel on where they want to hit this rock. Try and double these off. But if she doesn't make the double and she sticks it, she's going to stick it on top that it won't be shot.
Emma Miskey looking to remove these blues.
Great throw, Em.
And she's done just that.
It's behind you, Rach. Yeah, got it. Here too, Rach. Get in? Oh.
Well, you got to know your angles, and these two do. She just needed to hit a third of that rock over the face of the blue one in the house and rolled out to the side. Great execution by Emma Miskew.
As Cece Austin will throw her first rock of this 8th end. The remainder of our games, both in the 8th end. Jennifer Jones up 5-4 on Krista McCarville in the 8th. Jones has the hammer there. And in the other B-side final, it's Sherry Anderson up 6-5 on Sherry Madaw. Sherry Madaw has the hammer there, so a lot of games coming right down to the wire here. Homan leads this one 4-3, but she has the hammer. And the Sigfridsson rink has to find a way to steal. They don't sound overly thrilled with that.
It'll float, eh? Okay, give me more ice. Because I can hit a quarter and still get it all. Yeah. The nose is good too. Yeah, I want it going though. I know, but no, like she can't breathe. Yep.
Which rock do you want for your draw?
5.
You want to save 5 or throw it now?
No, I want 5.
Okay.
I need a little more ice, Em. Keep going. But if we hit high, it's okay. She'll freeze it from back here.
How much weight are you throwing?
A ton. I still need more, even to hit nose, I think.
Okay. How are you throwing it?
Positive and hard.
Okay, let's
got it, reach.
Positive and hard here from Rachel Homan, her first rock of this 8th end.
Easy, whoa!
Just want to get that blue out.
Nice shot.
Mission accomplished. So she threw this like an arrow coming out of that hack. She just kept her weight up and threw it really hard, and it was perfect. I know what Emma was looking for. She was hoping that, you know, it wasn't going to stick around and give her something to draw to, but it's in front of the tee line, and that's all she actually has. Sigfridsson is to draw and just tap it back to be shot.
Ja, det är sant.
So Cece Austin and the Sigfridsson rink trailing by 1 here in this 8th end, and without the hammer.
Ganska gott om plats. Hålla igång lite, ganska bra. Bara fart. Nej nu. Bra fart, helst inget. Nej. Är vi där själv? Den är lite lång. Ja. Den är lite... Ja. Nej, nej. Ganska bra.
She had great weight. The line just didn't cooperate, and so Rachel had this for the win.
Yeah.
Just make it go away.
Good game.
Just give it an inch more.
It'll be a takeout for 3.
How much?
Same weight.
Final score, if she makes this, might not indicate how close this game actually was. The teams really battled back and forth.
Sure did. 2 steals. One each team had a steal, so. There were lots of rocks in play, lots of ends. Great shot making.
Clean. Change up.
Last rock of this 8th end, and it's Rachel Homan, an open hit for 3 and the victory. And the Rachel Homan team is off to tomorrow's playoffs at the Canadians Women's Classic. It's a 7-3 victory over Team Sigfridsson from Sweden, and the Sigfridsson team will have to come on back out in about an hour now and play a seaside game. It'll be against Bingyu Wang, but they still have a shot at the playoffs. So Homan into the playoffs here at the Canadians Women's Classic, a 7-3 victory. We'll be right back with the post-game show here on Shaw TV, the Canadians Women's Classic from Portage la Prairie.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Wednesday, October 26th, when the Victoria Royals look to avenge last year's playoff heartbreak, when they head north to Kelowna to battle it out with the Rockets. Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
Outward Bound Canada, with the support of the Shaw Kids Investment Program, helps vulnerable youth build resiliency and leadership skills through inspiring and challenging journeys in the great outdoors. Outward Bound Canada is proudly supported through the Shaw Kids Investment Program.
Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Back in Portage la Prairie, the Canadians Women's Classic, our feature game, Rachel Homan 7 and the Sigfridsson rink from Sweden 3. This is a lot closer than the final score indicated, Maureen. In fact, Homan had a lot of draws against 2 against 3. She was able to make most of them, including one in the 4th end. It was against a couple Sigfridsson rocks, but she was able to make a draw for 1, and that kind of proved to be the turning point of this game. We'll take a look at it right here. This is the 4th end, last stone, Rachel Homan.
For sure, Kevin. This was a big turning point in this end. She'd made some clutch draws earlier. This was no different. She had to make this one against 2. She didn't want to give up a steal of 2, and they swept this as hard as they could, and it just grazed the front, straightened the rock a little bit, and they got it for shot. Otherwise, it was still a 2. Changed the game.
She would take the lead there, and she would never relinquish it, going on to a 7-3 victory, and again, a spot in tomorrow's playoffs of the Canadians Women's Classic. Mike Valente downstairs with the winning skip, Rachel Homan.
Thank you very much, guys. Rachel, it's a bit of a sports cliche, but how important is it to get out to an aggressive start in these games? You had 2 in the first end there.
Yeah, I mean, against a team like that, obviously, even though we got the 2, it was right to the end, trying to make some tough shots out there, and they made us work for every point we got, and they made some great shots. We were in some tough situations and able to make some good team shots to get out of it.
In terms of the path of the stones, how did you find the ice tonight?
It was good. Definitely a little bit different than we'd seen, but just something you got to learn. It's always different every time I go out, and it's been really good. It's held up. It's been really good right to the end.
And finally, how much does this help your team's confidence going into tomorrow?
Really big. We played some really big teams today, some that just have given us some really good games and good practice on this ice, so we're confident going tomorrow.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Rachel. Let's send it over to Jennifer Jones's game going on right now.
Yes, indeed, Mike. Over on sheet 4, it is the Jennifer Jones and Krista McCarville game. They're in the 8th end. Last shots for each of these skips. Jones has a 5-4 lead, but she has the hammer. She's lying 4 right now, so Krista McCarville about to throw her final stone. Trying to make what looks like a double takeout and sit behind a yellow guard. McCarville, of course, the Scotties finalist, national Scotties finalist from a year ago, losing to Chelsea Carey. A loss here eliminates her from this Canadians Women's Classic event. just past the guard, and look at that, a double. Quite the shot from Krista McCarville there.
Great shot by Krista. You know, you never count her out. She continually finds a way to keep her team in the game. And this is another example of that. You know, unfortunately, it got the back end of that blue and ended up out open. So Jennifer is going to have a hit, and she doesn't even have to stick around for the win. But great shot by Krista.
So Jennifer Jones, a shot she's made 1,000 times before. And a shot here to stay alive at this Women's Classic. It'll be a 3 for Jennifer Jones in the final end of that one, and she rolls to an 8-4 win over Krista McCarville. The McCarville rink will go home. The Jones rink will remain alive in the Seaside and will play in about an hour or so from now in the 8:30 draw. Mike Valente, take us home.
Thank you very much, guys. Oh, great. 7-3 final for Rachel Homan. She goes into the playoffs for tomorrow. Our coverage continues this evening. We are not done. 50 minutes away. We'll be back on the air at 8:30 Central Time here in Portage la Prairie for more curling action. You've been watching the 2016 Canad Inns Women's Classic here on Shaw TV. We'll see you shortly.